Welcome back to MacEwan Media Production, where in this video we are going to walk through the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema 6K Pro. Let's start off with what you'll use with the camera. First is the lens. All kits come standard with a Canon 24-105 f4 lens. Next is the battery, which will slot into the bottom of the camera, as well as the SD card, which goes in the right hand side. While not included by default, a shotgun microphone is usually sent out with the camera in order to capture room audio, or when you're shooting on the go with no time to use a lapel. The 6K Pro is unlike other cameras in the studio in that it uses a mini XLR input as opposed to the standard size. We've included this adapter cable for when you need to mic up. We'll start with the camera body and lens. Remember to only take the protective camera and lens caps off when you're ready to mount the lens, and keep them close by since they're so easy to misplace. Once you have them off, line up the red dots on both and then twist to lock the lens into place. If you didn't hear a click, the lens is not secure. Going to the side of the camera, slide out the right-hand compartment towards you to put in the SD card. After that, insert the battery into the bottom of the camera. After that, the camera is ready to shoot, but first we need to take care of some other things. On the left side of the camera, you'll find the audio ports. The two closest to the bottom are the mini XLR inputs, and make sure to note which port you inserted the cable into. Once that's done, you can plug a full-length XLR cable into the adapter to extend the reach of the microphone, or plug the adapter directly into the mic you want to use. It's time to turn on the camera. On the top right will be a sliding switch. Once the camera starts up, your shooting settings will be found on the top of the screen. Things like your frame rate, shutter speed, aperture, ISO, and white balance. Just tap on one to adjust the given setting. By pressing the button with 3 horizontal lines, you can open the menu to change your recording settings, as well as other things like focus peaking and audio input. Before you can hit record, it's good practice to format your SD card to ensure that you have as much recording time as you need. With a card inserted, tap the recording time on the bottom of the screen where you can see how much of the card is already used. Follow the prompts and it will take a moment to finish formatting. Once it's done, you're good to go. Let's set up a shotgun microphone. Once you plug in the microphone, you might notice that you aren't getting any audio levels. That's because you now need to set the audio input for the XLR cable. Let's open up the menu and navigate to the audio tab by pressing it at the top of the screen. This is where you need to remember which audio input you plugged into. Since we used input 1, change the source until you see XLR1. Now when you try the microphone, you probably still won't see any audio levels. Let's go back to the audio menu and move one page over to see a toggle that is now available. This is phantom power. Switch it to on, and now you have a working microphone. Tap the levels to adjust the gain of your input, ensuring that it doesn't peak during recording. It's always easier to fix too quiet audio than it is to bring back overdriven audio. An important thing to always do is to monitor your audio recording with headphones at all times. Plug into the same side of the camera as the XLR inputs and keep them on as you record, or have someone else monitor your audio if you need to be on camera yourself. Finally, let's record. There are 2 ways to initiate a recording, either by tapping the gray button on the screen or the button with a red circle on top of the camera. Once it's on, some aspects of the screen will turn red to indicate it's capturing. Now that you're done recording, it's time to pack up the camera. Turn the camera off by flipping the switch and put all lens and body caps back on as soon as possible. Once the gear is put away, always remember to back up your footage, either at the site you recorded at or as soon as you get home. When you return the camera, always assume the next person will be formatting the card. One last reminder is that when you're in studio recording or editing, there's always a no food or drink policy in place. And always remember to clean up the spaces you've used and to close everything on the way out. If you found this video helpful, consider liking it and subscribe to the MacEwan Media Production channel. Thank you for joining me.